Hi everyone, welcome to Live Blogger. In this video, we will start designing a pop-up for our Blogger website. So this pop-up will appear only for the home page of our website. So whenever someone goes to the home page, let's refresh our page. And here we can see that after 3 seconds after the web page has loaded, we get this pop-up on our screen. And then we have this button over here which you can connect to any other page. And then we have this close button, and when you click on that, the pop-up will disappear, and this pop-up will not show on any other pages. And we'll also make sure that the pop-up will appear only once for a particular user. So this will be a series of videos where in this video we will just design the pop-up, and then in the next video we will add some JavaScript to make it work. And then in the next video we will add the code to our Blogger website so that it will appear only on the home page of our Blogger website. And then in the last video we will use cookies or local storage to make sure that the pop-up appears only once for a particular user. So let's get started. I'll be using Visual Studio Code to design our pop-up. So it is free to download. You can go ahead and search for Visual Studio Code and download it for free. And here I have opened up a folder called Popup. Now let's go ahead and start creating our files. So first of all, we'll create a new file and we'll name it index.html. And then we'll create one more file for the styles, and then one more file for the JavaScript. Alright, so let's start with the index.html file. In VS Code we have Emmet already installed. So if you just type exclamation and press tab, you'll get this basic HTML5 boilerplate. So first of all, we will link our style.css file over here. And here we'll create our pop-up. So we'll create a division with the class of pop-up overlay. This division will make our whole web page dark, and then we can see the pop-up better. And in that we will create one more division with a class of pop-up container, and in that we'll create a division for the close button. So we'll type pop-up -close, and here we will type plus, and we will then rotate this to make it the close symbol. Alright, then we'll have an h2 with a class of pop-up title, and here we will type hurry limited time offer. And then we'll have a paragraph with the class of pop-up description, and in that we'll have some lorem ipsum text. So we'll just type lorem 15 tab, and you will get this lorem ipsum text of 15 words. And lastly we will have an anchor tag for our button. So we'll type a, and we'll have a class of pop-up button. And you can insert the link that you want this pop-up to take over here, but I'll just leave it as hash. And then here we will type buy now. Alright, so that's basically it with our HTML. We'll also add our script file over here. So script src, and we'll type main.js. Now I have this extension called live server installed on VS Code. So I can just right click over here and then click on open with live server. And here's how our web page looks right now. Now let's add some styles to it. So we'll go to style.css, and first of all we will target the pop-up overlay, and we'll give a background color of RGBA 000 and 0.8. So we have the black color, but we have a little bit of transparency. Alright, now we'll set the position to fixed, and we will set the height to 100 viewport height and the width to 100%, and then we'll set the left to 0 and the top to 0. Now let's style the pop-up container. So we will type dot pop-up container, and we'll give it a max width of 500 pixels, and then we'll type margin 0 auto to bring it to the center. And we'll also give a margin to the top of 200 pixels, and we'll set the font family to Roboto sans serif, Now let's give a background color to our pop-up container. So I have this website opened over here called mycolor.space. So here you have to go to gradient, and once you go to gradient you can select colors over here, and then you can generate a gradient. So I have selected these colors over here, and I clicked on generate, and we have a gradient over here, and this is the CSS code. So let's just copy this line of code from here and we'll paste it over here, and here we can see the gradient. Now let's add a padding of 24 pixels, and we'll also give it a border radius of 24 pixels, and then we'll also have a box shadow of 0, 4 pixels, 40 pixels, RGBA 000 and 0.6. Alright, so now let's style this close button over here. So for that we will target the pop-up close class, and we have to set an absolute position to this close button. So now here if you type position absolute, and if you type top 0, then we can see that this close button is right here on the top. So what we want is that the position should be relative to this pop-up container over here. So for that you have to add one more line of code over here, which is position relative. Now this close button will have a position relative to the pop-up container. So let's set the top to -10 pixels, and we'll also set the right to -10 pixels, and we'll set the background color to C00303, and we'll set the color of the text to ECF0F1, and then we'll set the width and the height to 32 pixels. And to bring this text to the center horizontally and vertically, we will convert this to display flex. So here we will type display flex and align items to the center and justify content to the center. We'll also give it a border radius of 50%, and we'll set the font size to 30 pixels and the font weight to bold. Now we need to rotate this so that it looks like a close button. So for that we will type transform rotate Z, and we'll rotate it 45 degrees. So there we have our close button. Now we'll also set the cursor to pointer. So cursor pointer. So now if you hover over this, we have this pointer. Alright, so now let's style the pop-up title. So we'll type pop-up title over here, and for that we'll have a font size of 36 pixels, and we'll set the text alignment to the center, and we'll also change the color to C00303. Now let's style the pop-up description. So here we will type pop-up description, and we'll set the font size to 20 pixels and text align it to the center as well. Now the last thing to style is the button. So here we will target pop-up button, and we'll give it a background color of 110224, and we'll set the color to ECF0F1, and we'll remove the underline from our anchor tag. So we'll set the text decoration to none, and we'll set the font size to 20 pixels and a padding of 16 pixels and 48 pixels, and we'll also set the border radius to 8 pixels. Now we want it to be centered over here. So if you type margin 0 auto, it should move to the center, but right now it is an inline element. So first of all we have to convert it to a block level element. So here we will type display block, and then we'll also give it a width of 80 pixels and text align it to the center, and we'll also set the margin top to 32 pixels. Alright, so that's it with the design of our pop-up. In the next video we will add some JavaScript to make it work, so that when the page loads, after 3 seconds we should have this pop-up displayed. So if you have any doubts you can ask in the comments below, and click on the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.